Hello! Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Cindy Bennett from CindyBennettConnection.com, and I teach online for 3 different companies. I teach for VIPKID, GoGoKid, and I also teach for Outschool. And I love to also help people who want to join teaching online, and I can help you through the hiring process. So stay tuned, and I'm going to share with you some things that you're going to need to get started. This video is going to be all about the basics that you're going to need just to get started. Number 1, of course you're going to need a computer. Now, most companies that you're going to work for, you will be required to have a good computer. And so that would be the first thing that you want to check into. When I first started teaching online, I had a computer, but it was not really very good. It wasn't compatible with the up-to-date necessities for the online business. And so what I have now is I went ahead, and since this is my 3rd year teaching online, I went ahead and got myself an upgraded 2019 MacBook Pro. And it has been working great, but they are expensive. And so what I did was I said, you know, I'm home for 2020, I'm not going places and stuff like that, so I figured I would go ahead and spend the money, and I do not regret it. But if you don't have the money for something like that, there are other computers that you can use. But keep in mind, you cannot use a Chromebook and for most things, and you can't use an iPad except for VIPKID. You can teach from an iPad, but there are also things that you need a computer for. And if you use an iPad for teaching for VIPKID, then you will need to make sure that you join my VIPKID iPad users group and find out that there are some drawbacks to it. A lot of people teach from it and they love it, but in order to get hired, you need to use a computer, and there are a few classes that you can't teach. So you can go to my website and you can get the VIPKID iPad Users Guide for more information on that. But for all the other companies, you're going to need a computer, and I would recommend that you get the best computer you can and the most upgraded, because you don't want to have things happen. You don't want to spend some money and then find out that it's not going to work for what you need it for. So far this computer has done well. It's a laptop. I've got the 16-inch, and I don't regret it at all. But it took me a long time to get to the point where I could justify spending the money, because I do work online so that I can make a few extra dollars to pay some bills and buy things that we might need. So all of my money is not just going towards a computer, if you know what I mean. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, you are going to need good internet access. Now, where I live, the internet is really good. But there are some places in my house even that it doesn't work well. So you're going to need to make sure that you have good internet access. It works well from your spot. And a lot of people like to hardwire. Now, I don't hardwire, but it is a good safety situation if you want to use an Ethernet cord from your modem all the way to your computer. If you can't do it, like for me, it would be I would go through a room, through a hallway and everything else. You could always put it down, you know, through the wall somewhere, or something like that, to make it a hardwire connection. It is not absolutely necessary, but a lot of people do hardwire and they really like it. So that would be number 2. Number 3, you are going to need good lighting. This does not mean you need to go out and buy professional grade lighting, but you are going to need good lighting. So you can accomplish this by getting some lamps, putting some good lights in there, and you're good to go. I got a few of my first lights just at the local hardware store. So you don't have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money, but you do need to make sure that your lighting is good. Number 4, you are going to need a good teacher background. So you can accomplish this by maybe some stuff you have around the house. And if you're a teacher, maybe you already have materials that you can use for a background. The dollar store has a really great map that a lot of people start with. And you don't have to go and spend a whole bunch of money on that either. But just make it creative, make it inviting, make it educational, and good coloring, something that works well and looks nice. And that is one of the important things that online teachers need. So some of the items that I have in my classroom right now are made by ManyCam, which is a digital program. And I learned this just within the last about 6 months. So this is not necessary, but it is a lot of fun. I enjoy working with it and using some digital props to enhance my classroom. But it definitely is not necessary. Then another thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some good props. I have a Sterlite, like plastic drawers underneath my computer right here, and I have some of my most commonly used items, and I like to just keep them handy. I have the stop and go right here. I even have a harmonica, which I use a lot when the kids do really well on assessments and things like that. I have a very good thing. I have question mark and exclamation point, and many, many other items in my drawers right now. Okay, the next thing that you really need is a whiteboard. A whiteboard is like something that I use more than anything. I use it probably for every single class. So you can get a whiteboard of your choice. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be something that the dollar store even has whiteboards. So just use a whiteboard and make sure you have some good pens. Make sure they work. Every now and then I might pull one out that's actually not working, but make sure they work. And you can use the whiteboard for so many things. If you're teaching letters, you can show the kids how to write the letter. You can show them big A, small a, big B, small b. You can write the letters. You don't necessarily need cards. Okay. The last thing that you are going to need is some type of secondary reward. You could draw your secondary reward, or you could have something ready to give the students. Now, mine has a magnet on the back, so you can put it onto your whiteboard, and this is my monkey, and the monkey gets bananas. And even after 3 years of working online, I have seen that kids always go bananas over monkeys. They just love monkeys. They love bananas. It never gets old. And they also love ice cream. Every time I mention ice cream, it's a thumbs up. So monkeys, ice cream, stars, smiley faces, and you're good to go. So those are some of my most important things that you're going to need to get started to teach online. So thank you for coming to this video, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I work for VIPKID and GoGoKid. Those are companies that have your curriculum all set out for you. Then I also work for Outschool. Outschool can be students from anywhere in the whole world, which is really awesome. And so you can work for Outschool and you can teach kids. You don't even need a 4-year degree for Outschool. You just need a passion to teach what you love. And so if you're interested in any of those companies, if you haven't started yet, please let me know. Use my link below, send me an email, and I'd love to help you through the hiring process. So thank you for coming to my channel. I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day and happy teaching.